One thing that I've heard a lot of people talk about is morality. And I think a lot of people get confused about where morality comes from. I've heard some atheists suggest that morality comes from us, that the large majority of people will come together to determine what is morally right, what is morally okay. The thing is, I've asked every single one of those atheists, do you think human beings are naturally good people? And 100% of the time I get a no. Because human beings have corruption in them. They have bad in them. If that weren't true, we wouldn't have war, murder, rape. These things are all products of our corruption. And the atheist cannot say with an intelligent mind that they do not believe that humans have corrupted souls. Because one of the strongest atheist arguments that they'll use is, if God is all good, then why does he allow people to suffer? So all of a sudden we've hit the problem. Atheists will openly acknowledge that there is evil and corruption in the world and that humans are a large part of that. But they also think that humans are the ones who create morality. So there we have an issue. Either your morality was created by somebody great, a God who's all perfect, or your morality was created by a human, a selfish, evil human. Now, ask yourself, which one do you want it to be? And ask yourself, which one's more logically sound? Because humans would, when writing a moral code, write a moral code that benefited them. So if they want to lie to get out of certain things, they would write a moral code that says that they are allowed to lie. If they wanted to be allowed to steal, they would write a moral code that says nobody has ownership. But that's not what people did. That's not what we saw in the Bible. In the Bible, we see a moral code that says if you have somebody that wrongs you, you are to forgive them. That's not convenient. But it wasn't made to be convenient for humans. It was made to fulfill God's wishes. And that's one thing I think atheists forget about morality, is that humans will go with whatever conveniences them, even if you put them in a large group. Humans will go with whatever conveniences them. The one thing that atheists, I think, oftentimes don't really think about is sometimes it might be beneficial to agree with the idea of religion solely for the sake of not having a corrupt, evil society. Because if you ask an atheist, is slavery wrong? They'll say yes. If you ask an atheist, is murder wrong? They'll say yes. If you ask an atheist if rape is wrong, stealing is wrong, they'll say, yeah, it's wrong. But then if you ask an atheist, there's two guys on an island. Let's say one guy is named Lewis, one guy is named Clark. Lewis kills Clark because Clark has food. Was that wrong? Some people will say, yeah, it was wrong. It was always wrong. Other people will say, who's there to judge Clark? Who's there to tell Clark that was wrong? Clark is the only one on the island who can say it was wrong. Now, what to say Lewis and Clark are, starting to draw in ships. And when the ships come, they kill the survivors, they eat the survivors, they steal their stuff. Lewis and Clark's still alive. Lewis and Clark have decided that this is okay. Is it wrong? Well, a Christian would say yes, no matter what, that murder is wrong. But an atheist would say, who's there to judge him? And no matter how many people you add to this island, 3, 4, 5, 6, the same thing rests. So to be an atheist means that you would be willingly, if a large enough group of people comes, you would be willingly allowing murder, slavery. If the majority rule that it's okay, you would have to let it happen. You would say, would you let that happen? You ask an atheist, would you let that happen? They'll say no. Because they don't want that to happen, because something within them is telling them that this is wrong, this is not okay, it is not okay to murder, it's not okay to steal. There is something within them, it is a moral code. C.S. Lewis talks about it very heavily, where C.S. Lewis mentions that we have a moral code within us. We do not see it, but it is there. If it was not there, we would feel no guilt. We would have no right or wrong. There would be anarchy, because humans are naturally sinful. And so I raise to you this question. How can an atheist maintain a sense of morality that is good, that is proper without religion and God? And should atheists be more respectful of God and of religion solely because they owe a lot of the moral structure in this world to religion?